Hello everybody, Greg Solstice here, continuing our Starmade Starter's Guide. We've been constructing our workhorse this episode and last, and we're going to continue with that. I just finished the weapon system, and I think something I should have mentioned that I kind of forgot to, is that do you see how all these have weird purple lines on the edge? That means that they are connected to this weapons computer. So you always want to make sure when you're making weapon systems that they are connected to the appropriate weapons computer, which we'll get into more later, but right now we want to stick just with the basics. You know, keep it simple basically. So that way one doesn't get overwhelmed or confused or otherwise. Because I know I sure as heck did when I started. So we have the weapon system, and I'm actually going to demonstrate this now because I really didn't demonstrate with the first craft. So I hit spacebar and now I'm in flight mode. As you can see, I'm inside that cockpit I made, in case you can't tell. That weird blue box, that's the ship core, and I'm looking through the ship core from here. That's kind of a cool view, actually. I kind of like it. Now, that's weird, one says. Why isn't my weapons computer working? Well, sometimes this happens in the game. I'm not sure if it's a glitch, maybe it's hooked up wrong, doesn't matter. So, you hit T. Boom, opens up your weapons menu. Click on the thing that says weapons computer, and you assign it to something on your hotbar. I recommend 1. So now my weapons computer is assigned. I'm making sure that I'm not, particularly facing anything. And now that I have my mouse cursor over 1, I click left click. And I think you guys can hear that glorious sound. That's me shooting. So there, my weapons system works and everything. One thing is do not shoot the shop. They will send awful awful trading guild fighters and they will just destroy you. So don't do that. It's a really bad idea. But moving on. So our weapon system works. It's all set up. It's how, you want it. I wanted a 3-prong one. Maybe you only want a 2-prong one. Whatever floats your boat. Anyway. So now we got to kind of work on everything else. So shielding and thrusting and power consumption and everything else. So the first thing I recommend working on is power. Power is critical. Power is what charges back up your shield. Power is what fires your weapons. Power is what allows you to move. So make sure it works. So as I remembered, as I mentioned in the first video, straight lines are your friend. Straight lines, more importantly, that follow the axis of your ship. Now, I'm going to say this in a lot of videos. I'll keep mentioning it and reminding you guys, for a while, because that's the nice and the correct thing to do. But when I say the axis of the ship, I mean this line, this arrow at that, kind of top part of your screen, that right now red, that multicolored arrow, that tells you which way is forward for your ship. So, I'm just going to start kind of playing them here. I'm trying to sort of think, how do I want this ship to look? Blah, blah, blah. I kind of want it to look like that. Yeah, I don't know. So we're just going to start kind of putting items in places, basically. I bet I want some hole that's going to go across here so we can safely put this here. And now, right now, if you notice the left-hand side of my screen where it says 2,131 per second, that's how much power I regen every single second. That's a pretty solid amount. I have 4 of these left. Doesn't really hurt to make your ship a little bit longer. There. Okay. So the next thing I'm going to focus on is shielding, because shielding is so important. Shielding is what keeps your ship alive. So I had 2 there, so I just kind of extended the line. Because, frankly, part of it's just practice of the line rule, making sure that you regularly and consistently use the line rule. Now, I'm actually going to do a stylistic choice somewhere here. And now down the line, but you can kind of stack these however you want. Keep in mind that whatever I do, I guess you never have to necessarily do. Let's be real here. But when I do stuff like this, you don't really have to listen to. The line rule, that's a rule of the game. I kind of recommend listening to me on that, if only for your sanity. But a lot of these things you don't have to do it the way I'm doing it if you don't want to. If you think you have a better idea or a cooler idea or what have you, you don't have to. I'm just kind of building right now how I feel. I'm kind of trying to challenge myself a little bit as a builder, trying to think of some cool ideas that I can do with so few resources. But keep in mind, we have 251,912 other credits. When we want to, we can cover this thing up and it'll look great. So keep that in mind. But I always recommend buying low. Oh, my goodness, I almost forgot. So, back into here. I'm going to call it the cabin, for lack of better words. So this Plex storage unit that I'm scrolled over right now. It's exactly what it sounds like. It's a storage unit. It's something that allows you to put stuff into it. So I'm just going to grab this arbitrary piece of gray hole, and instead I'm going to put down that Plex storage unit. And I might as well demonstrate it now while we're talking about it. I hit R to get out of my ship, and unfortunately I pop up on top, but that's okay. What's okay though is that I can then go down. Oh my goodness. Let's explain what just happened for those of you who are shocked and amazed. So I'm outside, which I don't blame you because I was at first too. So what just happened was I'm outside my ship right now. I want to get in. There's these Plex doors in the way. I hit R to activate them, and they effectively disappear. Now the blocks are still there, but they've become invisible and you can pass through them. So I pass down, I enter my cabin, I look back up to where they used to be, and you see how it's just sort of awkwardly hanging in air, this activate Plex door? That's kind of proof that they're there. Hit R again, and they reappear, and I can't go through them now. It's kind of cool, and it's a really neat mechanism. It's great for giant bay door hangers. I didn't have to do any connecting or wiring. As long as Plex doors are touching one another on a face, on faces, they will all simultaneously delink. So if I wanted to activate this Plex storage unit, by the way, I hit R. Now there we go. It opens up a little menu. I can drag stuff in and put stuff around. Like I can put my weapon in there and I can put it back out. And there we go. So that's just something for you guys to know. Now we're going to get back into the core and back into build mode. Okay. So now I'm just kind of trying to figure out what to do. Okay. I think I'm going to start doing the thrust, which is where stuff gets important. So you can see on the left side of my screen, my mass is 14.4. So there's 144 blocks in here. Make sure your thrust is higher than that. Now, it doesn't have to be through the roof higher than that, but make sure that it's higher than that, because otherwise your ship will be incredibly sluggish. So, just like before, we're going to start kind of putting these down. I already have 7.8 thrust, which is, not particularly good, but not particularly bad either. Oh, we're going to start doing this. Yeah, we'll do that. Yeah, sure. That looks cool. I think it does. Notice we're already at 28 thrust. We're already at almost twice the thrust just from putting those couple blocks down. So I'm not sure if I'm going to put any more down, honestly. I have 6,141 shields. Not the best, not the worst. Maybe I'll actually put down some more shields. Because why not, really? I'm trying to think where. Oh, you know what? I know what we'll do. We'll extend this forward. In fact, we'll just do that with it. And then eventually, we'll get rid of these. Eventually, we'll cover it up with other pieces, with other blocks. I don't know, just kind of going around, trying to think of cool ideas. Trying to make the ship special. I really am, honestly. Try to make the ship kind of look cool, look interesting, because it's going to be my ship. So we're at almost 8,000 shields. I have one block left that I have to place. Oh, we'll just put it there, which puts me at 8,132 shields. Not bad. I've made ships with more. I've made ships with less. Doesn't really matter. So now we're going to start covering this thing up, basically. We're going to start putting blocks over it. So this is where gray hole wedges and such, I'm going to drag this down, by the way, become your best friend. Because they make ships look really cool. At least in my opinion. They give ships a lot of character and interest, basically. So, just start kind of placing them. In this case, I can't give you guys a whole heck of a lot of guidance in that, you do what you want to do, what you think is cool, what you think is interesting, what you think is neat, basically. I think that looks neat. I'm actually going to leave these exposed because I like how they look on this side. So I'm just going to leave them. But I think I will make maybe this one blue, and maybe we'll make that blue. Yeah, we'll do that, and we could put this here. We will make this gray, which is okay. It's not completely covered up. It makes you look at an angle. So I hope to talk about this eventually a bit more in depth if I do maybe an advanced build, or maybe just a ship designed to not just be effective but look really cool. But I can mention it here, is if you want your ship to start looking cool, add depth to it. See how I've got all this kind of weird stuff going on. I can't think of a better way to describe it other than weird stuff that's going on. Add depth to your ships. Add angles and have things kind of go up and go down, and that sort of stuff, basically, for lack of better words. It makes your ships have character and look interesting. One thing I used to like to do, I don't do as much, as I would put a bunch of these facing backwards because I kind of like that look. And in fact, you know what? I will keep it that way. Although maybe I'll only do... I'll do 4. I'll buy some more. 1, 2, 3, 4. I kind of like how that looks. Looks jagged and interesting and different. Dangerous would not be a word I would use, but it looks different and interesting. And visually interesting ships are cool ships. Ships that you want to keep using, basically. So I really recommend you do that. You know, you make your ship cool, and you know, you want to like how it looks and everything else. Because, I mean, it's probably going to be a while before you get to make another one. So, I'm starting to run out of time here. I will finish the rest of this off camera because it's all basically... What's the word? It's all basically how you feel, how you want it to. We've gotten the basic ideas, the big concepts out of the way. So, yeah, at this point, it's going to be up to you on how you want the final design of your ship to look. So, I'm Greg Solstice. Thanks you guys so much for watching. Take care.